Olivia Newton-John was 29 when she portrayed Sandy Olsen, the gentle newcomer whose sweetness slowly gave way to confidence and self-discovery. Newton-John gave Sandy warmth without weakness, making her transformation feel less about changing for someone else and more about choosing how she wanted to be seen. Beyond Grease, she became an international music icon and later inspired millions through her long public battle with breast cancer. She died in 2022 at the age of 73. Sandy remains forever young, a voice, a smile, and a reminder of the moment innocence becomes confidence. Jeff Conaway was 27 when he portrayed Kenickie, Danny's loyal friend whose swagger hid a young man desperate to be respected. Conaway gave Kenickie humor, rough charm, and enough insecurity to make his pride in his car, his friends, and Rizzo feel deeply personal. After Grease, Conaway continued acting, but later faced serious struggles with addiction and declining health. He died in 2011 at the age of 60. Kenickie now carries a bittersweet energy, the loud, confident friend whose laughter still survives, even though the man behind it is gone. Barry Pearl was 27 when he portrayed Didi, the guitar-playing T-Bird whose lighter personality helped soften the gang's constant performance of toughness. Pearl gave Didi enthusiasm, humor, and the sense that these leather-jacketed boys were still teenagers trying to look older than they felt. After Grease, Pearl remained active in acting and musical theater, building the kind of steady working career that continued long after one iconic role. In 2026, he is 76. Didi remains a bright reminder that not every memorable member of a gang needs to be the loudest one. Michael Tucci was 31 when he portrayed Sonny Lettieri, the loud and mischievous T-Bird, who always seemed one joke away from creating another problem. Tucci gave Sonny exaggerated confidence, while keeping enough warmth underneath to prevent him from becoming simply unpleasant. After Grease, Tucci continued working across television, film, and stage, and later spent time teaching and mentoring younger performers. In 2026, he is 80. Sonny remains pure teenage momentum, the friend who talks too much, brags too loudly, and somehow keeps the energy moving whenever the room begins to slow. Kelly Ward was 21 when he portrayed Putsy, the sweet and slightly awkward T-Bird who never seemed as interested in proving himself as the others. Ward gave Putsy sincerity, loyalty, and a gentle connection with Jan that made both characters feel more human. After Grease, Ward moved successfully behind the scenes, becoming a voice director and educator whose influence continued through performances audiences heard rather than saw. In 2026, he is 69. Putsy remains proof that belonging does not always come from being cool. It can simply come from being comfortable enough to stay yourself. Didi Conn was 26 when she portrayed Frenchie, the kind-hearted pink lady whose beauty school dream reflected the teenage hope of becoming someone new. Conn gave Frenchie optimism without making her foolish, allowing uncertainty and disappointment to exist beneath the character's bright personality. After Grease, Conn continued working in entertainment and became involved in advocacy, including autism awareness. In 2026, she is 75. Frenchie remains one of Rydell's sweetest memories. The young woman learning that losing one plan does not mean losing the possibility of another future. Jamie Donnelly was 30 when she portrayed Jan, the quirky and warm pink lady whose humor came from being completely comfortable with her own oddities. Donnelly gave Jan a natural awkwardness that helped the group feel less polished and more like genuine high school friends. She remained connected to acting and performance in later years, continuing to work while keeping a quieter profile than some of her co-stars. In 2026, she is 79. Jan remains memorable because she feels like someone audiences might actually have known, the friend who made the room warmer simply by being herself. Dinah Manoff was 22 when she portrayed Marty Maraschino, the glamorous pink lady who treated confidence like something she could wear until it became real. Manoff gave Marty wit, poise, flirtation, and a little more sophistication than the other girls around her. After Grease, Manoff continued working across film, television, theater, and directing, building a career grounded in craft rather than constant visibility. In 2026, she is 70. Marty remains the knowing smile inside the Pink Ladies, a teenager already practicing the adult woman she hoped someday to become. Eve Arden was 70 when she portrayed Principal McGee, the dry-witted administrator attempting to maintain order, while Rydell High seemed determined to ignore her. Arden brought decades of classic Hollywood timing to every announcement, look, and exhausted reaction. Her distinguished career stretched across film, radio, television, and theater, long before Grease introduced her to another generation. Arden died in 1990, at the age of 82. Principal McGee remains the adult who had already seen everything, and somehow understood that teenage chaos would eventually pass whether she controlled it or not. Frankie Avalon was 37 when he portrayed Teen Angel, the dreamlike singer who appears during Frenchie's moment of uncertainty. Avalon's presence connected Grease directly to the teen idol culture of the era it was celebrating, turning the fantasy into a playful meeting between generations. After decades in music and film, Avalon remained closely associated with the golden age of American pop entertainment and continued appearing at nostalgic events. In 2026, he is 85. Teen Angel remains one of the film's most charming reminders that nostalgia works best when the people who lived it are invited back in. Joan Blondell was 71 when she portrayed Vi, the waitress at the Frosty Palace whose brief appearance brought warmth and history into a film dominated by youth. Blondell gave the diner a lived-in quality, making it feel like a place that existed before the students arrived and would continue after they left. By then, Blondell had already enjoyed a legendary career, stretching across decades of Hollywood. She died from leukemia in 1979, at the age of 73. V remains a quiet moment where classic Hollywood itself seems to step into Rydell's world before gently disappearing again. Vin Burns was 45 when he portrayed Vince Fontaine, the slick radio personality whose fast talk and polished confidence turned the school dance into a genuine event. Burns gave Vince just enough charm and vanity to capture the era's idea of a teenage celebrity host. Already famous through 77 Sunset Strip, Burns continued a career that kept him connected to television and popular culture for decades. He died in 2020 at the age of 87. Vince remains permanently behind that microphone, announcing the dance as though nothing in the world could possibly be more important. Sid Caesar was 55 when he portrayed Coach Calhoun, the loud and enthusiastic gym teacher whose attempts to motivate students often became comedy of their own. Caesar brought the physical timing and exaggerated expressions that had already made him one of television comedy's pioneers. His career influenced generations of performers and stretched across television, film, and stage before his death in 2014 at the age of 91. Coach Calhoun remains proof that great comic instincts can move between generations without losing their rhythm or their ability to make a room laugh. Dennis Stewart was 31 when he portrayed Leo, better known as Craterface, the rival greaser whose presence brought genuine danger into the T-Bird's world. Stewart gave Leo enough menace to raise the stakes of the Thunder Road race without pushing the character into exaggeration. He later returned to the role in Grease 2, strengthening his connection to the franchise. Stewart died in 1994, at only 46 from complications related to AIDS. Leo remains one of the film's darker flashes, a reminder that even inside a bright musical, rivalry could suddenly feel dangerous. Annette Charles was 30 when she portrayed Cha-Cha Di Gregorio, the fearless dancer who entered the school dance and immediately commanded the floor. Charles needed only a few scenes to make Cha-Cha unforgettable, giving her confidence, rhythm, and an awareness of exactly how powerful she was. Outside acting, Charles later pursued education and built a life beyond Hollywood. She died from cancer in 2011 at the age of 63. Cha-Cha remains proof that screen time does not determine impact. Sometimes one dance, one look, and one perfectly timed entrance are enough to last forever. Ellen Travolta was 39 when she appeared as a waitress at the Frosty Palace, bringing a small but warm connection to the film through her real-life relationship as John Travolta's sister. Her presence helped make the diner feel populated by familiar working adults, beyond the teenage story. Travolta continued a long television career across decades, becoming a dependable performer in her own right, rather than simply a famous sibling. In 2026, she is 86. Her brief appearance remains a gentle reminder that movie worlds are often built by familiar faces, quietly giving the background a life of its own. Eddie Deezen was 21 when he portrayed Eugene Felsnick, the awkward student who stood outside Rydell's cool social circles but never stopped showing up. Deezen gave Eugene nervous enthusiasm and comic vulnerability, making him an affectionate counterpoint to the swagger surrounding him. After Grease, Deezen became widely recognized through comedy and voice acting, before largely stepping away from public life. In 2026, he is 69. Eugene remains one of the film's gentlest outsiders, the student who never needed to become cool in order to deserve his own moment of dignity. Dick Patterson was 45 when he portrayed Mr. Rudy, one of the faculty members helping give Rydell High a believable adult world around its teenage chaos. Patterson understood the value of a supporting role: establish authority, add personality, and never slow the story's rhythm. He continued working through versatile character roles across television and film before his death in 1999 at the age of 67. Mr. Rudy remains part of the invisible structure behind Grease, the professionals whose brief appearances helped make its stylized school feel like a place people actually attended. Lorenzo Lamas was 20 when he portrayed Tom Chisholm, the clean-cut athlete who briefly represented a safer romantic possibility for Sandy. Though the role required almost no dialogue, Lamas gave Tom enough presence to contrast immediately with Danny's unpredictable charm. After Grease, Lamas built a recognizable career in television and film, becoming especially associated with major dramatic and action series. In 2026, he is 68. Tom remains a small but useful piece of Sandy's journey, the polished alternative that helped reveal where her heart truly wanted to go. Susan Buckner was 26 when she portrayed Patty Simcox, the relentlessly enthusiastic student whose school spirit seemed impossible to embarrass. Buckner made Patty openly uncool and completely proud of it, giving the film a bright contrast to the carefully performed swagger surrounding her. After acting, Buckner stepped away from Hollywood and devoted herself to family life and teaching drama and dance. She died in 2024 at the age of 72. Patty remains one of Rydell's happiest echoes, a reminder that sometimes refusing to be embarrassed by your joy is its own form of confidence. Dodi Goodman was 63 when she portrayed Blanche, the excitable school secretary whose nervous energy made even routine administrative work feel chaotic. Goodman brought decades of stage and comedy experience into every hurried line and flustered reaction beside Principal McGee. She continued acting into her later years, across television, film, and theater, before dying in 2008 at the age of 93. Blanche remains a perfect example of character acting at its best, a performer needing only timing, movement, and a few lines to make herself completely memorable. Alice Ghostly was 55 when she portrayed Mrs. Murdoch, the deadpan auto shop teacher whose brief appearance carried the unmistakable authority of someone who had heard every teenage excuse before. Ghostly gave the role personality almost instantly through voice, posture, and precise comic timing. Already celebrated for television and Broadway, she continued building a long career filled with memorable supporting performances. Ghostly died in 2007 at the age of 84. Mrs. Murdoch remains a tiny piece of classic comic craftsmanship, arriving, landing the joke perfectly, and disappearing before the audience could ask for more. John Travolta was 23 when he portrayed Danny Zuko, the swaggering T-Bird, whose confidence often concealed how deeply he cared about what others thought. Travolta gave Danny movement, charm, insecurity, and enough vulnerability to make the romance feel human beneath the cool exterior. After Grease, his career stretched across musicals, dramas, action films, and major reinventions that kept him part of popular culture for decades. In 2026, he is 72. Danny remains an enduring portrait of youth, the boy performing confidence while still trying to understand who he really wants to become. Stockard Channing was 33 when she portrayed Betty Rizzo, the sharp-tongued pink lady whose confidence was really a carefully built defense against judgment. Channing gave Rizzo sarcasm, toughness, and the vulnerability revealed when the jokes finally stopped. After Grease, she built one of the most respected careers in theater, television, and film, taking on roles far removed from Rydell High. In 2026, she is 82. Rizzo remains one of the film's deepest characters, because Channing proved that the person who appears strongest may simply be the one most afraid of being hurt. Grease was built from music, movement, and the dream that youth might somehow remain untouched by time. But the people behind Rydell High continued growing older, building new lives, facing private struggles, and eventually saying goodbye. Olivia Newton-John, Jeff Conaway, Annette Charles, Susan Buckner, and many others are now gone, yet every song brings them back exactly as audiences first knew them. Thank you for joining After the Spotlight, where we remember the people behind the memories and what remained after the final dance.